Yizzo, you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? Now listen, man, you could tap in or you could tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. Now you already know time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G. I know they got you out here chasing the bag, chasing that money, chasing that paper, stacking that cheese, that cheddar, and that mozzarella. But always keep it in the front of your mental Rolodex that time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G's, at all times. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Now, big salute to all my day one investors, everybody that's highly invested in the channel, everybody that understands that we are growing this channel organically, constant elevation. Yeah, we on our way to the top, well over 50,000 subscribers, and we on our way to 60K. All right. Even bigger salute to all my newcomers, all my new investors, all my new subscribers, everybody that's making their way to the Realest channel on YouTube, Grown Man Business TV. I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. You know how I'm giving it up, and you absolutely know how I'm putting it down. All right, now do me a favor, my G's. Wipe off your feet before you step into the big house. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure your notification bells are ringing loud and clear every time you step foot in the Realest channel on YouTube, Grown Man Business TV, or you know where you at. Yeah, it ain't no mistake, my G. If the algorithm led you to this channel, if the algorithm led you to this live stream, it ain't by coincidence. Yeah, we don't believe in that. Yeah, you in the right place. Pure dope, straight off the brick, directly into the bottles. All right, so big salute to everybody that's coming in. Make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button. You already know what to do. Now, I got a lot of people in the DMs asking me, G&B TV, what's your perspective on everything that's going down with Donald Trump and his EBT situation? I mean, you know, what's your thought process on everything that's going on with Donald Trump, the government shutdown, and this whole EBT situation taking over America? Now, one thing for sure, two things for certain. I got to say this, man. Absolutely nasty work. Absolutely nasty work. And you got to know that the revolution will be televised right here in these YouTube streets. I'm an absolute threat to the establishment. So I'm going to talk about situations like this. And guess what? I'm going to talk about situations like this right in the middle of your football Sunday. Yeah, while a lot of y'all is paying attention to these football games, while a lot of y'all is all in tune and engulfed in the circus. Yeah, they got the circus on right now. I'm going to drop these gems right in the middle of the situation. Yeah, it's pure dope. Yeah, I'm different. I'm different. And the higher ups and the elites understand how powerful my voice is. They understand that I'm a threat to the establishment, and they absolutely know that the revolution will be televised right here in these YouTube streets. What's going on with this EBT situation, Donald Trump, the government shutdown, absolutely nasty work. Yeah, I call it checkmate. Yeah, when you playing chess and you moving them pieces all across the board and you get in a good position to hit that king, it's called checkmate. Oh yeah, we going for the checkmate. The game don't stop until the king falls. All right? So one thing for sure, two things for certain. I don't want this to go over your head, and I don't want this to go under your bridge. I want to be very direct and pure with my intentions. This is nasty work. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk about this. You gotta know something, man. Me personally, I never qualified for food stamps. I never qualified for food stamps. The people around me, we don't qualify for food stamps. I wanted to make that loud and clear. I wanted to let y'all know that. So you don't think that I'm one of the ones defending and trying to fight and trying to give my voice to people that's on food stamps. It's deeper than that. It get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. But I've never qualified. You understand me? So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But I'm going to directly attack this situation with EBT. All right? Y'all already know. Y'all already know, man. One thing for sure, two things for certain. Before we get into this message, before I deliver this dope directly off the bricks, right into the bottles, right? I got to do some customizations to the chat, my G. Yeah, the higher ups and the elites are always working overtime. They always trying to muffle the message. They always trying to shadow ban the channel. Yeah, the higher ups and the elites absolutely know that I'm a threat to the establishment. Yeah, we growing organically over here, and the revolution will be televised right here in these YouTube streets. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Well over 100 in here. We going to talk. We going to have a, listen, man, hit the like button. Do what you know what to do when you come into the building. Like, subscribe, make sure you locked in to the Realest channel on YouTube. EBT and funding to Americans are being cut. And everybody's on the edge. Some people feel this way, some people feel that way. Well, that's why America is divided. That's why America is what it is. Because nobody want to rally the troops. Nobody want to keep it 100. Everybody want to play it safe. Everybody want to put that baking soda all over the dope, all over the content. Nobody want to keep it a G. Well, that's why this channel is so powerful. That's why you here, ain't it? Yeah. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Let's do what we gotta do so we can get into this message. I ain't got all day. This not gonna be a long live stream. We gonna get right into the meat and potatoes of the situation. All right? Big salute to the chat. Y'all know what to do when y'all come in here. Well over 100 already. We do what we want in this algorithm. All right? Now, we gonna talk, man. Donald J. Trump. We gonna have a conversation, man. All right? Bam. You see that right there at the bottom of the chat, right? Before you get in here with your Twitter fingers, doing your Twittering with your Twitter fingers and all that, using your Twitter fingers all in the comment section with your Twitter fingers, doing your Twittering, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure your notification bells are ringing loud and clear every time you step foot in the Realest channel on YouTube. Yeah, this is the Realest channel on YouTube. There is nothing realer than Grown Man Business TV. All right? Pure dope, straight off the brick, directly into the bottles. No cut, my G. No baking soda. We not stepping on this. Yeah, we don't do no tap dancing on the content. All right? So let's talk about it. Big salute, man. You know, EBT is being cut. Now, you got a lot of Americans saying, go get a job. Yeah, we don't want to do this and we don't want to do that. Go get a job. Go get some work. Go make some money and get off of food stamps. Get off of EBT. You understand what I'm saying? Go get a job and get off of the government assistance. And, you know, to a certain extent, I agree with that. I agree with that. We got a lot of able-bodied Americans, able-bodied adults beating the system. You understand what I'm saying? You know, working the system. You know, taking advantage, right? And there's a lot of people out there that's speaking against that. And they feel like they got a case. They feel like they cooking. They feel like they saying something. And it gets so deep that even these people don't understand how oblivious they are to the system that we are living under. The matrix that we are all engaging in. You know, you think you cooking when you get on your little Twitter and your little TikTok and you talking about get a job and do this. You think you saying something. You know what I mean? You know, you got to know something, right? It ain't for everybody to have a voice. Everybody want to be seen and everybody want to be a celebrity and everybody want to have an opinion. And in this world we live in, everybody can't be king. Everybody can't have a voice. So when I hear all these different opinions, I understand why my voice is so powerful. Because before you can have an opinion, you got to be able to see through the smoke and mirrors. You got to be able to understand the matrix that you're dealing with. It's real easy to just say, go get a job. All right? Now, one thing for sure, two things for certain. Y'all already know over here at Grown Man Business TV, right? What I do. What I do. I kept the receipts. I don't go nowhere without the receipts, my G. I do my due diligence. Before I step out the door, I got the receipts in my back pocket. And guess what? I kept the receipts. I got multiple different receipts today. We're going to get into some of these. All right? And we're going to talk. Donald Trump, the U.S. government is a joke. The CIA is a joke. The feds are a joke. Your local police department. These dudes are comedians. Yeah, these dudes are actors. It's a joke, my G. And I don't mind being the bearer of bad news. I know a lot of y'all believe in the system. I know a lot of y'all believe in the federal government, but I'm here to tell you, man, it is absolutely nasty work. And if the federal government is a joke, what that make us? What that make us? If the government, if the president is a joke, if this whole system is a fraud, what that make us? We're going to have a conversation. Big salute to the chat. Let's get into this receipt right here. just to give y'all some context on what I'm talking about. And then we gonna get deep into this. I ain't got all day. I don't want to spend too much time on that. I want to get right into it. Right into it. They robbing us without a gun. They robbing us without a mask. And nobody want to go to war about it. Nobody want to give pure content about it. They robbing us without a gun. All right, so big salute to the chat. Let's get right into this receipt right here, and we gonna go deeper. We gonna really break this down. Before we get out of here, y'all gonna understand exactly what we dealing with. All right, big salute to the chat. You already know what it is. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Well over 300 in the chat. Run up the likes, man. Hit the like button when you step in the building. All right, is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Look.
Yeah.
The ghetto. SNAP benefits will not be issued for the month of November. If you're new here, my name is Crystal. I am a social worker and a caseworker. I have been working in the social service field for over 10 years. I also worked at the SNAP Welfare Food Stamp Office for over 6 years. I have processed hundreds of SNAP cases, and in this video, I will explain to you what's happening with November SNAP benefits. Due to the government shutdown, many states are now sending out notifications stating that they do not have the funds to issue SNAP benefits for the month of November. The federal government has already informed all states that it will not fund November's benefits. And since the funding for SNAP comes from the federal government, the states literally have no money to pay out. Some states are outright saying that they will not issue November's benefits, and some states have not confirmed it yet. I'll just tell you, if you receive SNAP benefits, please be careful on how you spend October's benefits because there will be no more SNAP issued until this shutdown ends. I have some resources to help you find food pantries if you need it, linked in my bio. All you have to do is click the link, put in your zip code, and it will show you a list of food pantries near you. If you have any questions about this, feel free to let me know, and I hope this helped.
Now, I wanna get into this, right? One thing you will always notice when it comes to the American people is that our government always tells us that they don't have the resources. We don't have the money. We don't have the funding. We don't have it. You understand what I'm saying? It's so easy and it's so redundant that they never have the resources when it comes to the American people. And we're going to talk about that, right? But let's start right here. Donald Trump approached his whole presidency with the angle, with the method to the madness. And I understood that. And I think a lot of people that can see through the smoke and mirrors, they understand what's going on. All right. So let me just give y'all some game. I told y'all it's always a black face that's the fall guy. It's always going to be a black face. It's always going to be a black person. It's always going to be black people that they use to disguise as a mask. What do you mean by that, GMB TV? Well, when you go on TikTok, when you come on to these social media platforms, all you see is black people talking about how they're going to steal, talking about EBT, talking about government assistance. So you got everybody feeling and looking at black people as this is just affecting us. And the truth of the matter is, Trump understands that we will be affected by some of these situations. But on the grand scheme of things, the bigger picture is Trump is forcing poor white people to step out of their comfort. He's forcing them to step from behind white supremacy. And what do you mean by that? Where am I going with this? It's way more poor white people on EBT. It is way more poor dog fur having people that will be affected by the cuts of EBT. That is a narrative that you don't see pushed on social media. That is a narrative that you don't see pushed in these news outlets. That's why you come to Grown Man Business TV. Yeah, that's why you come to independent content creators to give you that pure dope, straight off the brick, directly into the bottles. Most of everything that Trump is doing is highly affecting Caucasian people. You see white people, you see white farmers, you see white millionaires, you see all these white people being affected by the policies that Donald Trump is applying. But instead of them putting that out there, it's always falling back on black people because it's easy to plaster us all over social media. It's easy to plaster us all over the newspaper. It's easy to make it look like black people are ghetto and living off of government assistance and hide the fact that the majority of the people on government assistance in America are poor, Caucasian, dog fur having people, respectfully. Over 80% of the people engaging in all government assistance are white people. Oh, I know that broke your heart right there. I know to all of my Caucasian counterparts, I know that hurt your heart. But I don't mind being the bearer of bad news. Over 80%, my G. Yeah, I'm going to round up because it's really like 76, 77%. But in the school system, they teach you anything over the 5, you round up. So I'm going to round up to 80%. Absolutely nasty work. And the real issue that they're having with Trump when it comes to this, right, is the fact that he's affecting white people. Again, they always use us, my people, black people. They always use us as a callus. They always use us as a mask. They always use us to hide behind. But the truth of the matter is, look at all the white farmers complaining. You see a lot of white farmers speaking out, saying they're going to lose their farm, saying that they're going to lose their property. You got to know something, right? It's not the people in the ghetto that's going to go without food. The people in the ghetto, black people in the ghetto, we got a Walmart right up the street. We got a Publix. We got a Food Lion. We even got a Aldi's and all these different, supermarkets. Even though the ghetto is right there, we got all different type of options. The people that are really being pushed out of position is poor white people in rural country areas where they don't have an option of a 7-Eleven or a Walmart or a Publix. Out there in the mountains, the majority, if not all of those poor Caucasian people that live in those country towns, that live in those mountains, they're all on public assistance. They're all getting EBT money. You understand what I'm saying? So this is a tool being used to truly affect them, to force them. Because, the narrative is it's all black people. It's all black people that's on government assistance. Behind closed doors, you got all these white people going and using government assistance without a flashlight. Nobody knows. Nobody talks about it. Nobody points the finger. Absolutely nasty work. And I wanted to start right there. I want you to understand that Donald Trump had a plan to crumble white supremacy. Donald Trump had a plan in motion that was really going to affect poor white America. Now, we all know somewhere down the line, something happened. A change came in. A blackmail happened. And we're going to talk about that because Donald Trump ain't off the list. Don't get it confused like I'm defending Donald. Don't get it confused. But I wanted to start right here at the base, at the foundation. I told you, the higher you go up on the corporate ladder, the further you get away from the ground. The higher you go up on the corporate ladder, the further your feet get away from the ground. And it all happens at the ground. It all starts right on the land. You got to have feet on land. And again, go to TikTok, go to Instagram, go to YouTube. You're going to see all of these black people talking about EBT. And you're rarely going to see poor white people talking about EBT. But what I'm here to tell you is they are suffering the most. Oh, you never heard of trailer park trash? You ever heard of trailer park trash? Those are the ones that are secretly being pushed out of position. Oh, yeah. Those little sundown towns out there in North Carolina, those sundown towns out there in Florida, with all those racist, rural white people. Yeah, them real racist, rural white people that look at you as ghetto, that look at you as trifling. Those are the main ones on EBT, respectfully. Those are the main ones eating up that government assistance. All right? Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. But let's go deeper. Because y'all already know it get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. It's always deeper than the surface. And those rural, racist white people that are suffering, that's just scratching the surface. All right? Now again, let's double back. Like I said, y'all don't notice how redundant it is that the government is always telling us they ain't got the money. You know, EBT, we ain't got the funding. Reparations, we ain't got the funding. Schools and teachers, we ain't got the funding. Sanitation out there in Philadelphia, we ain't got the funding. But y'all don't notice that we always got the funding for all these other countries? We got funding for Ukraine. We got almost $1 trillion to give to the Ukraine. We got funding for Israel. We even got funding for Argentina. Y'all don't notice that we always got money for all these other countries, but we ain't never got the money for the American citizen. Well, this is where it starts to get deep at. This is where I don't mind being the bearer of bad news. And the bad news is we are the working bees. We are the actual slaves on this globe. Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let me say that again. The American people, we are the working bees of the globe. We are the working bees. We are the actual slaves of this planet. We are the low-key slaves of this planet. And what you mean by that, GMB? I mean, where you going with that? Well, in these other countries, right, they never tell the citizens that they're free people. They never tell the citizens in none of these other countries that they are free citizens. They all know that they're not free. They all know that there are certain laws and rules that they got to abide to. But when it comes to the Americas, we are sold the illusion that we are free. We are sold the illusion that we are the free citizens on this globe. Well, why is that? Why is it in America, it's the American dream and we are so free? Because behind closed doors and behind the smoke and mirrors, we are actually slaves. We are actually the slaves that get up, go to work, pay taxes, and our tax money is used to fund the planet. Our tax money, our blood, sweat, and tears is used to fund every other country. And then when we ask for something, when we say, yo, we are owed this, guess what they tell us? We ain't got the funding. This is where it gets deep at. This is where a lot of these content creators put baking soda on the content. We are the slaves, my G. Think about it. You go to work every day. Before you get your check, before you even get a chance to look at your money, they've already taken out multiple different taxes. And you don't even know where that tax money is going. You have no say-so on where that tax money is going. You don't know who pocket is being put in, but guess what? You went to work for 80 hours. Blood, sweat, and tears. You lose time with your family. You miss out on the important events that go on with your children because you are somewhere at work or somewhere running a business being a slave. And I want you to understand something, and I really want you to get this through your mind. I don't want this to go over your head or under your bridge. It don't matter if you are running a business or if you go to work. You are a slave. It don't matter if you start your own business and you are out doing your thing. Before and after you pay taxes to Uncle Sam, that makes you a slave. That makes you a worker. When you go to work and they take taxes out, that makes you a slave. That makes you a worker. When you go start a business, when you use your intellectual property, when you use your IP and you go out there and you put the groundwork down, you build a foundation, you build a business, you make money. Before you get to do it, before or after, you're going to pay the American government, Uncle Sam, taxes. And they're going to use that tax money to do whatever they want to do with it. Now, I needed to put that out there so you can understand that it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you are on American soil, I'm here to tell you, you've been bamboozled. You've been hoodwinked. You are a slave. It's just no chains. It's no whips. The slave master, he's out there in government. The slave master is out there playing in Congress. Think about it. We are the only people that are sold the dream of freedom. Because if you think you're free, you won't mind being a slave. If you believe that you're free, if you believe that you're a free man, then you won't mind. You won't even pay attention to the slavery going on all around you. You can feel it though. We all feel it. When we get up and go to work, we feel like something ain't right. When we start our businesses and we make our money and then we got to pay taxes to a government that had nothing to do with the business that we are running, we feel like something ain't right. But even though we feel like something ain't right, what we do, we pay those taxes. We get up every day, we go to work, we pay bills and we pay taxes. Slaves. Now, I got some more receipts, right? I had to say that to say this. How is it that we don't have money for the American people, but we got $20 billion to give to Argentina? I mean, I don't understand this, and I don't, you gotta put the pen to the paper. We ain't got federal EBT funding for American people. And let me tell you something, I'm speaking for all Americans at this point. Dog fur, black people, whatever. I'm speaking for the dog fur. How you ain't got EBT funding? How is there on a government shutdown, but in the middle of a government shutdown, we got $20 billion for Argentina and all that? This way it get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap, my G. Over 1,000 in the building for this pure dope, straight off the brick directly into the bottles. Hit the like button and all that. Hit the subscribe button. The downloads are downloaded, and the download said Grown Man Business TV, go live in the middle of the circus. Go live right now in the middle of football. Show the higher ups and the elites that we could have well over 1,000 people in here in the middle of a circus. That's how powerful my voice is. That's how powerful this is. Oh, y'all didn't know we just gave $20 billion to Argentina, but we ain't got funding for EBT? And what I'm here to tell you is, yeah, get up and go get a job. For all those poor white people in those rural areas, y'all get up and get a job. It's a whole bunch of farms right now where you can get your ass on a farm and you can go to work. It's a whole lot of crops that need to be picked. It's a whole lot of cotton. It's a whole lot of fruit. It's a whole lot of produce that you could go out and you can get some money. So I don't want you to get this confused like I'm trying to defend. It's a lot of you racist white people out here that sit on your ass every day watching Maury when you could be out there working somewhere. I'm not talking to black. Listen, we doing the work. If we ain't did the work, our ancestors did the work. So I'm not even speaking to those ghetto, ignorant black people out there. I'm talking to rural white America. I'm talking to trailer park trash. Get your ass up, get out that trailer, and go to one of these farms and tell them you ready to work. But at the same time, I got to point the finger at the higher ups and the elites. I got to point the finger at the slave master. I got to point the finger at the Geppetto that's pulling the strings right now. Ain't no way in the world The richest nation on this planet is telling the American people we ain't got the funding for EBT. Before I get into this receipt, I also want to say this. All Americans should receive a stipend at the end of the month. All America. I don't care how much money you make. If you pay taxes on American soil, we should all receive $1,000 a month for food. That's our tax paying money. Y'all not giving us anything. We are slaves to the establishment. So all Americans, if you have a birth certificate, if you have an American social security number, if you are a tax paying citizen, and let me be clear, you got to be paying taxes. If you are getting up, going to work, paying taxes every goddamn paycheck, you deserve $1,000 a month. Yeah, they got y'all thinking that food stamps make you ghetto. You shouldn't be receiving. No, we pay taxes. And we gonna talk about that, all right? Because again, we are the slaves that pay these other countries. You think they don't get food stipends out there in Argentina? Who you think paying for free health care out there in Argentina, out there in the Ukraine, out there in all these different countries? We're going to talk about that as well, all right? But ain't no way possible you're going to tell us y'all ain't got the funding, but you got Donald J. Trump funding Argentina with $20 billion. It's a war going on outside. The problem is y'all scared to go to war. The problem is y'all don't mind being slaves. You don't mind getting robbed without a gun. You don't mind them raping your paycheck. It's a war going on outside, but you scared to go to war. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Let's get into this chat. Well over 1,000 in here. We do what we want to do in the algorithm. We're going to talk about that. It's people with 250,000 subscribers that ain't never had 1,000 people in the room. Let's get into this. Look.
Let's make Argentina great again.
President Trump has announced a $20 billion deal to rescue Argentina, angering some America First supporters and U.S. farmers.
Now, that's a powerful receipt right there. We're going to get back into it, but I want to speak to that. How is it that all of these other presidents are so happy? Yeah, you remember when the Ukrainian president came to the White House, freshly shaved with that Under Armour on, looking like he been working out all year? Yeah, you remember how happy he was when we was funding $100 billion, $400 billion, $800 billion to the Ukrainian war? Now look at this guy right here in Argentina. Look how he think he's Mick Jagger. Yeah. This motherfucker think he's Mick Jagger. He think he's a part of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah. I'd be happy too. Robbing the American people of $20 billion. Yeah, I'd throw a concert too, goddammit. Yeah, grown man business TV on stage. Yeah, I'll give you what you're asking for. $20 billion richer. Now again, what we talking about? I thought we didn't have the funding. I thought we was in a crisis. I thought it was an American government shutdown. Now here's where it gets even deeper. Here's where it gets even deeper. The American government shutdown is redundant. You know, you gotta have some age and some experience. You know, I'm an 80s baby. I remember the government being shut down when I was in elementary school. I remember the government shutting down when I was in high school. I remember the government shutting down some years ago. And now I remember the government shutting down right now. But you gotta know something. The government has to shut down when we funding billions and trillions of dollars to all these different countries. The government has to shut down. There's no way around it. How can the government consistently run when we are shelling out billions and trillions of dollars and not even paying and rebuilding our infrastructure. You understand? The government has to shut down. Imagine that $20 billion being spread out to the American people. Imagine that $1 trillion we gave to the Ukrainian government being spread it out over the American land and rebuilding roads, infrastructure, making sure we got free college, free education, making sure I can't give it to you no other way, my G. Appreciate that 10-piece nugget. Yeah, mama, I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, we gonna speak truth over here. We gonna speak truth to power over here, regardless. Pure, I call it pure dope, straight off the brick, directly into the bottles. You understand? This is content without no baking soda. This is content that has not been stepped on. A lot of y'all didn't know we just gave out $20 billion. Did you know that? Nah, you didn't know that. Because they got you looking at TikTok. They got you looking at black content creators complaining about EBT. They got you paying attention to the narrative that's being painted. Yeah, black people are ghetto and they are worried about EBT and they're just not blah, blah, blah. And we are funding. You know, you got Argentina people that's living in America. You got people from the Ukraine living in America. You got people from Russia living in America. You got people from Israel living in America, because we gonna get to that. We gonna get to that. But at the same time, we taking the taxpayers' dollars and we funding these countries. We are the slaves. They just took away the chains and the whips. They took away the chains and the whips and they sold you a dream of being free. You're free. You're a free American citizen, but you better pay these taxes. You're a free American citizen, but you're going to make sure you pay property tax. Huh? You paying taxes on water. You paying taxes on food. You paying taxes on air. You paying taxes on fuel. We're going to tax you every way possible. And we're going to take that very tax money and give it to Argentina. We're going to take that very tax money and give it to the Ukrainian people. It's a war going on outside, but you scared to war, so don't worry about it. You scared to go to war, so don't even worry about it. It get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. One thing for sure and two things for certain. My people, we are resilient. There is nothing the American people can do. It is nothing the government can do to stop black people. It don't matter if you put guns in the community. You can't stop black people. It don't matter if you put crack in the community. It can't stop, and it won't stop black people. But guess who it will stop? Oh, that dog fur. Oh, yeah. That dog fur ain't resilient like us. That dog fur ain't gonna be able to make it through these tough times. That dog fur don't know how to, they don't know how to make ends meet. That dog fur, white supremacy, is crashing right in front of our face, right before our eyes. But it don't have to be that way. The only reason it's happening that way is because we are slaves to the establishment. We are the slaves that fund this world. They are robbing us without a gun. How is this possible, GMB TV? Okay, well, we can go deeper. Before we go deeper, I don't want to stop. I want to, you know what? I'm going to run this receipt one more time. One more time, I'm going to run. I want you to hear them say, we are funding Argentina. What the hell we got to do with Argentina? What the hell do the American people, the American dollar, got to do with Argentina? What do we care for? I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that. Nah, homie. Nah, this ain't, trust me, I'm on course. You might think I'm lost, but the higher ups and the elites don't think I'm lost. You might think I'm lost, but trust me, they understand exactly what I'm saying. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Let's run this receipt one. Look! Half of the country's in poverty, but guess who's gonna save them? Guess. The American slaves. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And even and I gotta involve the dog fur having people. Y'all been slaves for a long time. Y'all just didn't know it. They've been robbing white people for a long time. Y'all just been so happy to hide behind white supremacy that y'all let it slide. Y'all let it go over your head and under your bridge as long as they treated y'all and made y'all feel like elite citizens. Oh, I have the dog fur. I'm a white man in America. This is the greatest country on the globe. But guess what? When you make that $1 million, white man, 300,000 is going to the U.S. government. They don't give a damn. Yeah, you make $1 million, we taking 300,000. And you gonna sit with that. Oh, you a millionaire? Not yet, bro. You 300,000 short. Ah, yeah, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. In the rural, racist, poor, trailer park trash, y'all are feeling the effects on a whole nother level. Now let's go into another angle, right? Because I know a lot of y'all are looking at this receipt and y'all are saying to yourself, damn, like, how is this possible? How are we in a position where we are now funding Argentina? Wait, what? Israel. Now, Donald Trump, you're not going to like this segment. You're not going to like this angle, Donald Trump, but it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. I don't care who you are, dog fur or not, you're getting stepped on. Yeah, you're going to get stepped on. And Donald J. Trump, here we go. Israel. You don't know that they are in control of the American government. You don't know that it is not the American government, it is the Israel government that is funding and running what we do. That is the real slave master. That's why them people with them little hats and them synagogues out there in New York City with those tunnels and all that, that's why they get to do what they want to do. That's why it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But where does Argentina fall in this? Well, like I said in the beginning, right? I want y'all to walk with me. In the beginning, I told y'all that Donald Trump had an agenda. He faked out white America. He made them think that MAGA was going to be used against black people, not understanding that MAGA is a tool that was going to be used against the white supremacy. MAGA is a tool that is supposed to be used against white supremacy, right? Somewhere down the line, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that 5-piece nugget. Somewhere down the line, Israel stepped in. Hey, listen, y'all know when I tell y'all when the higher ups and the elites make that phone call, it don't matter if you the president, it don't matter if you an athlete, it don't matter if you a celebrity, it don't matter. As long as you are a puppet, you gonna get that phone call. Israel made that phone call. Donald Trump, let me holler at you, B. What's going on? Hey, look, man, I don't know what you got going on over there. I mean, I hear you talking about black people and how they created and ran and built America. I think you getting off course, Donald. This is what we gonna do. Them Epstein files is gonna come out, and guess who name gonna be on those files if you don't get in pocket? Donald Trump. I know you ain't gonna like this. Hey, Donald, your name. We gonna release them files you was talking about, but guess what? Your name is gonna be on it. Your name is. You gonna get down or you gonna lay down, and if you lay down, you gonna stay down. If you don't stay down, Donald, your name is going to be on that list. All of a sudden, Donald Trump had a change of plans. All of a sudden, the Epstein list don't exist. I want to give y'all some game, and this is a download that downloaded, right? The download told me Donald Trump name wasn't on that list. Originally, Donald Trump name was not on the Epstein list, and that's why he was going to release the Epstein files. Donald Trump was going to release the Epstein files because he already knew my name ain't on that list, my G. He got a phone call. Guess who name just got added to the list? Guess who name got put on that list? When we drop these Epstein files, you better believe your name is going to be on it, Donald. We're going to tarnish your legacy. We're gonna ruin you. Once your name come out on that list, checkmate, game over. And after Donald Trump got that phone call, Donald Trump started talking like this. Donald Trump whole analogy, his whole narrative, his whole plans switched up. 360 turnaround. Donald Trump went from talking about dropping the Epstein files to talking like this. Talk to the people, Trump. Look.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
In February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file, along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
In February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file, along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That
Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. And Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
Whew. Now, I see y'all in the chat, right? And I see a lot of people saying, yo, he's been on the list. He's been off the list. You know, something in me, the downloads that are downloading is saying he wasn't on the list. There's no, let's talk about that. There's no way Donald Trump ran a presidency claiming to drop the list, knowing that he was on the list. Even in the beginning of Donald Trump being the president, he was still claiming to drop the list. But as soon as he got that phone call, oh, ain't no list. You know, hey, listen, I already done told him about the list. I'm not on the list. What you want me to tell the people? It don't matter what you tell the American people. They are easily moved. Tell them it ain't no list. But if the list come out, your name's going to be on it. And after Donald Trump got that call, we going to get into some more receipts. He started bending, breaking, and folding with Israel. He started having open meetings with Israel. He started doing all the things that the Israelites and the Israel, whatever you want to call them, would have him do. He lost all backbone. That backbone that Donald Trump had in the beginning no longer exists. Because it get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. And as the American people, all we got to do is see his name on that list, and his legacy is over. Yeah. The same way them people reached out to Nick Cannon. The same way them people reached out to Jay-Z. Oh, they gonna call you. Hey, I need to holler at you. Sound like you getting off course. Oh, yeah. You see what we did to Kanye, right? You think that can't happen to you? You think we don't know about that baby you had out there in B-More when you was Jay-Z the drug dealer? You think we don't know about that son you got that you had with that 16-year-old little girl? You don't think we'll force you? We'll put you out there, and that DNA test will come back positive. Yeah, that's the call Jay-Z got. That DNA test will come back positive, and that young man to get 50% of all you owe. What you think? What you think Jay-Z was gonna do when he got that phone call? The same thing Donald Trump did. Now, where are we going with this? Argentina, they in bed with Israel. The president of Argentina, he's best friends with the president of Israel. And you know when you get a sweet lick, you ever got a sweet lick and your homie, yo, I got this lick, homie. Oh, y'all running out of money? Y'all need funding? I got somebody that'll do it. I got him in my back pocket. Oh yeah. They'll do whatever I tell them to do. You need what you need. What you need, 5 billion? I'm gonna get 20 for you, my G. Yeah. I'm gonna get 20 for you. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. I'm gonna make some phone calls. We gonna get that right. They got Donald Trump, the American president, in the back pocket with them Epstein files. So yeah, now our tax-paying dollars is being shelled out. And this is what's been happening. This is what's been happening for as long as I can remember, as long as I was alive. Every president that sat in office from when I was born to now has been in the pocket of Israel. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. It is what it is. That's why we are funding Argentina out the clear blue sky. We ain't never heard a word about Argentina. We ain't had no war. We ain't protecting Argentina. We ain't heard nothing about Argentina. But out of nowhere, we got $20 billion going to Argentina. And I don't like to say that word too much, but that Israel is in control of America. All right? Now, I want to go a step further, because a lot of people come into my DMs and they say, yo, you got it wrong about Israel. You got it wrong about Jewish people. You got it wrong. It ain't this and it ain't that. Well, I want to let the president of Israel talk in his own words and let us know how he feels about the American government, the American people. All right? This is the last receipt, and then we going to do what we do. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. We are the slaves, my G. Yo, when you really take this in and you really understand and you don't let it go over your head or under your bridge, it's a declaration of war. And that's what we going to close with. We going to close with that. It's a war going on outside. But before we do that, I want to let my man right here talk and speak for himself. All right? Now, this is, you know, we're going to use some closed caption and let them do what they do and all that. All right? But I want y'all to listen. I want y'all to listen and read. But I'm going to read it to you as well. All right? Big salute to the chat. Let's see what we got here. Look at it. Look! Look! Now, right here it's saying, wait a minute. But then the world will say, how come you're conquering again, right? The world won't say a thing. The world will say we're defending. Aren't you afraid of the world, BB? Especially today with America, I know what America is. America is something that can easily be moved to the right direction. They won't get in our way. "80% of Americans support us. It's absurd." So let's say they say something. So they said it. 80% of the Americans support us. It's absurd. Even the president, even the people out there in Israel realize and understand how absurd it is that we are so forward coming. We are so giving with our resources and with our funds, with our tax-paying dollars. So I had to play that, and I just wanted to give y'all that. 80% of the Americans support us. It's absurd. So when they get on these news channels and they get on these, media outlets and they say, oh, support for Israel. We need the blah, 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 blah. It's nasty work. Don't fall for it. Argentina, right? $20 billion. The new Israel. Who you think gonna fund that? We stopped the war. We freed the hostages. Now Israel is in shambles. Now they're preaching and they're singing and they're promoting the new Israel, the rebuilding of Israel. After this war has happened, it is a war-torn country, right? Their buildings, everything has been demolished. And now we need to rebuild Israel. Who you think gonna fund that? You, me, the American people, the American slaves. We are gonna go to work every day, and we are gonna pay tax dollars to send over there to rebuild Gaza and rebuild this whole situation. But we ain't gonna rebuild the bridges. We not gonna rebuild our roads. We not gonna pay our teachers. We not gonna pay our law enforcement. We not gonna make sure that the American people even have food stamps. Listen, they got food stamps. Who you think funding that? They got free health care and free medical. Who you think funding that? They go to college for free. Who you think funding that? We don't got free health care. I pay a pretty penny for my family's health care and dental coverage. We don't go to school for free. Everybody I know that went to college is in student loan debt right now. And the nasty part about it is, over there in Israel, they stole our whole identity. You know what? I got one more receipt. I thought I was over. I thought it was done, but I'm not. I got one more receipt. I want to show you how nasty this is. It's disgusting. Let's listen to Donald J. Trump talk about Israel. I want y'all to watch. I want y'all to look at this. Look at the flag behind the American president. The man giving our tax dollars away, the slave owner. Look.
Esteemed members of the Knesset and cherished citizens of Israel, we gather on a day of profound joy, of soaring hope, of renewed faith, and above all, a day to give our deepest thanks to the Almighty God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Look.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's a great honor. Nice place. Very nice place.
Look how they got the American president glazing Israel. I mean, he at goddamn Krispy Kreme right now. Yeah, you got Donald Trump at Krispy Kreme asking for a dozen glazed donuts the way he glazing them people over there. And I want you to notice there's no American flag behind Donald Trump. There is only their flag. Notice there is no American flag behind Donald Trump. It's only their, look.
After 2 harrowing years in darkness and captivity, 20 courageous Hostages are returning to the glorious embrace of their families, and it is glorious. 28 more precious loved ones are coming home at last to rest in this sacred soil for all of time. And after so many years of unceasing war and endless danger, today the skies are calm, the guns are silent, the sirens are still, and the sun rises on a holy land that is finally at peace, a land and a region that will live, God willing, in peace for all eternity.
Let me speak to that, because I see you in the chat, right? It's a beautiful thing that you hear. And salute to the chat. You know what I mean? Why would they? He's in the Israel legislator. Why would they have an American flag? Because he's the American president. The same way when they come to America and they come into the White House, you see their flag and you see our flag. You get that? You understand that? The fact that there is no American flag behind them is that right there should tell you something. That right there, I don't care what building it is. I don't care what legislator it's in. I don't care about none of that. You got the American president right there with their flag behind them and no sight of our flag. You know why? Because he's there to glaze. Yeah. Donald Trump. He's there to get on his knees. He's not there. He's not there to really stand up the way Donald Trump is supposed to stand up. He's over there glazing. He don't want that Epstein file to come out with his name on it. He's in the back pocket. Yeah, he pulled him to the side. He said, listen, man, you know, I know you giving us some money. You about to rebuild Gaza. I know you just gave the Ukrainian people, you handled that. Y'all, you, Joe Biden, y'all took care of that because we control that. My people out of Argentina, they need about 20 billion. You good with that? You think the American people can work hard and pay that 20 billion? Huh? You think you got enough tax money to pay that? Hey, you know what? We'll cut EBT. Fuck it. We'll cut EBT. We'll get rid of government assistance across the nation. Just don't drop that Epstein file, please. Do you mind? Yeah, fuck the American people will figure it out. We'll figure it out. How you say 20 billion? Don't worry about it. We cutting the check. And I know you don't like to hear that. I know y'all don't like to hear that because it's a lot of people that we need to support Israel. We need to pay Israel. No the hell we don't. We need to build up America first. We need to make sure So I know you don't like to hear me talk like this, but I don't give a damn what legislature. I don't care if they was in a goddamn library. Yeah, I don't care if they was in the Israelite library. It's supposed to be an American flag up there. You see, let me show you. Look at this right here. Look. You see all this space right here? That's where it's supposed to be at. You see right here? You see all this space right here? That's where it's supposed to be at. Just in case you didn't know, maybe you didn't think they had enough room over there. Yeah, the symbolism. See, it's just that I can see it. I can spot it. I can identify. That was strategic to have that flag right there and no American flag. Let's watch Donald J. Trump glazing. He had Krispy Kreme asking for 12 glazed donuts, hot and ready. He only want them hot and ready. Go ahead, Donald. Look.
Esteemed members of the Knesset and cherished citizens of Israel, we gather on a day of profound joy, of soaring hope, of renewed faith, and above all, a day to give our deepest thanks to the Almighty God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Now, I want to stop right there before we go into this last angle. These people right here with this dog fur ain't got no ties to Abraham, Isaac, or Jacob. Yeah. Hold on real quick. Let me make sure. I don't want to lose sight. I don't want them to knock me out the box. I got to make sure that I'm charged up. Yeah. These dog fur. Look, look, look. Look. You think he got ties to Abraham, Isaac, or Jacob? You got Donald J. Trump out there talking about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob with the dog fur. Donald Trump know these people ain't got nothing to do with that. Donald Trump out there glazing, respectfully. Trooper 69, I see you in the chat. What it do, my G? Big wrenches, always. Donald J. Trump is out there talking about Jacob, Isaac. Amen. Amen. Absolutely nasty work. Now I'm gonna land this plane, right? We are in a present time on American soil where these things can be spoken through independent content creation. I take pride in speaking directly to the people, direct the consumer. And you gotta understand, we, the American people, are the slaves. You think the citizens in Argentina believe that they are free citizens? You think the people out there in Israel think that they are free? Hell no. Russia, nowhere. They live their life, but they know not to fuck around with Putin out there in Russia. They know what can happen. The American people have been sold a dream of freedom as a mask for slavery. In the American Constitution, there is a clause that says we can go to war with a tyrant government, and that's where we gonna land this plane at. When we can see that our government is being controlled like a robot, like a remote control car by an outside entity. Israel is an outside entity. Israel does not have America's best, have what's best for us in the forefront. We are a pocketbook. We are funding. And every president that goes into office will be in the pocket. They will have dirt. Your ass on the Epstein list. We got you over here sex trafficking. We know that you like to gamble. They know you're cheating on your old lady. We got you in the pocket. As the American people, when we see that, when we acknowledge that, when we pinpoint that, that is a declaration of war against a tyrant government. That in the Second Amendment might be the absolute most greatest things that the dog fur have ever created or put on paper. I got to give the dog fur credit for that. Those white people said, listen, we gonna bear arms. In the moment we notice y'all are robbing us, taking advantage of us, stealing from us, we can legally take you to fucking war. That's where we gonna land this plane at. That's where we gonna land this plane at. It's a war going on outside. Government assistance should be a mandatory on American soil. I don't care how you feel about it. Government assistance, food stamps, mortgage and rent assistance, whatever, free school, free education, free health care, free dental, free vision. That shit should be funded by the government, and it should be the top shelf medical, the top shelf dental, the top shelf food stamps. Every tax-paying American should get $1,000 a month for food. I don't give a damn how you feel about it. $1,000 a month should go into your bank account, and you should be, hey, you want to get food with it? Get food with it. But that should be mandatory. The reason why we don't get that is because we are slaves to the establishment. We make sure Israel get free health care. We make sure Argentina get free health care. We make sure the Ukrainian government get free health care, but we don't get free health care. So you take that with you into this week's work. You take this ideology, you take this pure dope straight off the brick, directly into the bottle, and you apply it to your everyday life. And every move you make, understand you are a slave. You are a slave to the government that has the legal right to go to war with the government. Go to work or go to war. I don't think you. Yeah. Go get a job. Do all of that. But at the same time, with or without a job, the American people should absolutely, and I don't think you should have to qualify. The only qualification should be your pay stubs saying that you are a tax-paying citizen. Birth certificate, social security card, taxes. These three requirements will put you in a position to get free health care, free dental, free vision, and whatever else assistance you need. I wouldn't give a damn. I wouldn't care if you make $100,000 a year. Guess what? You paid taxes on that $100,000. You deserve $1,000 a month, free food. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Clean hour of power, my G's. We only going up. We having our way in the algorithm. Big salute to all the new subscribers, man. Yeah, we approaching 60,000 subscribers. Big salute to everybody that's tapped into the Realest channel on YouTube. Big salute to you. All right? Big salute to all my newcomers, all my day one investors, everybody that been here since day one. Everybody been here since before we could go live. Salute to everybody that's locked in with this channel. You wouldn't believe. The DMs are on fire. I appreciate the encouragement. And I want to tell y'all something. Put it in the comment section like China Brim and all that. Make sure you put it in the comment section like 050 The Movement. Make sure when this live stream is over, you put your opinion or your thoughts in the comment section. I appreciate the DMs, but I quite better prefer you put it directly in my comment section. All right? You already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. Feel what I'm saying? You can tap in and you can tap out, but you know my slogan, and you absolutely know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in. I suggest you tap into this Grown Man business. I suggest you tap in to this Grown Man content at all times. You already know what it is. Straight off the brick, directly into the bottles. Straight off the brick, into the bottles. Straight raw, pure, uncut, no extras, no preservatives. We not sugarcoating this dope, and we ain't stepping on this dope. I'm giving it to you straight raw, my G. No fentanyl, no quinine, no baking soda. We ain't water whipping this dope, and we ain't counter whipping this dope. It's straight off the brick into the bottles. Donald Trump is in the pocket of Israel. He got a phone call. You better get on cue. You better get down and lay down. And when you lay down, you better stay down. Your name is on that motherfucking list, if you like it or not. If you was there or not. Your name is on the list. You better start. You better get on code. The government shutdown. We are in the middle of a government shutdown, but we got $20 billion for Argentina, and they over there partying like a rock star. You got the president of Argentina. He think he Mick Jagger. He think he with the goddamn red hot chili peppers with all that money. With all that American money. Billions of dollars. Yeah, he feeling like the dude out there in the Ukraine and all that. Nigga came over here with a fresh haircut, Under Armour, Nikes. Yeah, that American money spending real good. almost $1 trillion worth of it. It's always the question is who's going to pay that debt? You going to pay that debt. Who going to pay that debt? I'm going to pay that debt. So I got to speak truth to power. The least I could do is bring it to your awareness. The least I could do is give you pure dope straight off the brick into the bottles, no baking soda. I'm going to go to work and I'm going to pay for it. Absolutely disgusting work. So do those people deserve EBT? Absolutely. I deserve some goddamn EBT. You know what I could do with $1,000 a month? Food stamps. I mean, it's my fucking money because I pay taxes. So it's my money. You're not giving me anything. You're not giving me a handout. You're not giving me anything but what I already gave you. You're just giving me my money back. You know what I could do with that money? But it's, you know what, I ain't even gonna get into that. Donald Trump is at Krispy Kreme ordering 12 glazed donuts, hot and ready. Hot and ready. And he's going to glaze Israel for the rest of the time being. Instead of Americans having such hate in their heart for other Americans, we got to start asking the question, man. Because it don't matter if, you know, why wouldn't you want another American to get food stamps, not understanding that we paying for food stamps for all these other countries. We sending out aid to all these other countries. We sending rice, we sending oatmeal, we sending sugar. We paying taxpayer dollars. We giving billions of dollars to all these other countries. We making sure they got free health care, they got free dental. But then you see your fellow American on food stamps and you want to tell them to go get a goddamn job. You want to tell them go get a job. Whole time you paying for everybody else. We gonna double back, man, in a couple of hours. We gonna go live again. We gonna tap back in with the people. We not stopping. You know, I'm going on vacation, man. I'm gonna be gone for a week, but I will be going live on vacation. I'm gonna try to, you know, I'm definitely gonna make sure I try to tap in with the people. You know, even on vacation, you know, I gotta, you know, family time is family time, but we will connect. I encourage you to take a break from work when you get a chance. Go on a cruise with your wife. Go on vacation with your family. Spend time with your loved ones, the people that love you, the people that care about you. Stop putting work in front of everything. Because the very dollar that you're working for, the very business that you are building is being taxed. You are paying. You are a slave. Even when it's time to go on vacation, even when it's time to take some time off, we always say to ourselves, man, I got to get this money, man. They got us so brainwashed that we don't even want to go and take time off of work because we got to get this money, man. The same money that they taxing and they sending to Argentina. The same fucking dollars that they tax us with and they send to the Ukraine and they send to Israel. We ain't even rebuilding our bridges. We ain't even filling the potholes in our goddamn interstates, and we about to rebuild a new Gaza. Y'all let me know when y'all ready to go to war, right? Make sure you tap in. Yeah, I'm a war general. Y'all ready to go to war? Y'all ready to do this? You let me know. Until then, keep paying the taxes. I'm just here to give you this game. So you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy. It's your boy. Grown Man Business TV. You understand me? You know, you can tap in, you can tap out. But you know my slogan. You know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in.